Welcome back. You're listening to Chat with Women, and I'm Pam.
And I'm Rochelle.
And I have to say, I'm very angry after listening to him.
Poor Jim.
I have to say,
poor Jim.
I'm sorry, but I disagree with everything he said. So now I'm excited because the woman we're going to introduce, I agree with her. So Dr. Pepper Schwartz, who's a professor of sociology at the University of Washington, she's the author of 14 books, and her newest one that we've talked about before is Prime, and she's now the spokesperson for AARP. So welcome, Dr. Pepper Schwartz.
Thank you. I don't know if you know my new title. I get such a big kick out of it.
What is it?
I am the Love and Relationship Ambassador for AARP.
You know, they need an ambassador. That's
They
actually
really
a really
do.
good idea.
They actually have 7 ambassadors in different areas. Like Martina Navratilova is the ambassador for health and fitness. Jane Pauley is for life transitions. There's a few other people, you know, in more specialized areas that don't like insurance or whatever. And they're really trying, I think, to change the image of the AARP as something that is really relevant for us baby boomers,
Exactly.
and not just the people ahead of us, but be more inclusive so that actually now, for example, this study that I'm going to talk about, the AARP 2009 study, starts at age 45.
Oh.
So we look at, because, for example, even though we're still mainly an organization for people 50 and older, a lot of people who are 50 are married to someone younger.
True.
So we try or living together, or same-sex couple or whatever. And so we want to include everybody and really be very cognizant of what boomers' issues are and style is.
I think that's terrific because my husband's AARP member. I'm now able to be an AARP member. But I haven't necessarily wanted to be a card-carrying member. So why don't we just digress for 1 minute? What does AARP really do for us?
Okay, I've become a huge supporter, and I think it's a good sign when you know something better, you like it more, as opposed to going the other way, you know. But I watched them through this whole healthcare debate, and they were one of the major lobbyists for pushing this forward for people to have previous conditions covered, to do the kind of thing. If you read the magazine, which I do, and we're now aarp.org, so you can go online because it's, you know, the 21st century, for goodness sake.
True.
You can read a lot about, you know, what they do for basically, you know, the health programs for people who are no longer, let's just face it, 20. That's just the hard truth, right?
Right there,
you know,
Pepper.
but they're different. I mean, and you know, the older you get, and I'm well into the age group, you realize that somebody better be looking out for your interests. So they do that. They have a lot of, you know, they're divided in both commercial and non-commercial. In the commercial part, you know, it's insurance and health and travel and lots of stuff like that. In the non-for-profit side, which is what I'm in, it's advice of all kinds, and they vet everybody very seriously. I mean, it's interesting when they first called me, trying to find out if I'd be interested in this job. You know, I started to tell them why I'd be great for it. You know, I was really interested in the job, and they said, "You don't have to tell us anything about you. We know everything about you."
Oh, my.
And I said, "Really?"
Everything.
So I thought it was all over, right? You know, I mean, like, well,
That's so funny.
I mean, seriously, I mean, because, you know, I was a baby boomer.
That's
I mean,
right.
you know, I had a good 70s and not bad 80s. 60s were good, too. So in any case, and it's all good. But, I said, well, then kind of, are you still interested? And they said, absolutely, that's why we're calling you, because, you know, we want to embrace everybody's, you know, experience of their lives. We really understand that people have, you know, tumultuous and interesting and demanding love lives and sexual lives, and we want to address them, which they never have in the same way. So, and then they've talked about all the other kinds of things they do. So, I mean, if you pick up, sadly, if you pick up the magazine or go to the website, you will find things you want to read.
No, I have to
believe
say,
that.
it's very true.
Have you ever seen it?
No, we get the magazine
You
at
get the
home.
magazine?
Harry's a member, so we get the magazine at home, and I do thumb through it, and I have stopped, and I have read a couple of articles.
Really?
No, it's true, and they are
I know
very
it's because you're a
interesting.
year older than me.
Yeah,
That's
I am.
I
I'm
have to
starting to
catch up.
broach.
I'll give you, I mean, one example of things I really like to read. They do a lot of reinvention articles about people who
they
changed
do.
their lives. In fact, I just met someone I want to nominate for because it's a very, this is the kind of thing they do. A friend of mine used to be head of the clinical psychology program at Yale, a really internationally respected doctor who's still doing his medical and psychological work, but now he's taken a job as a Big Apple greeter in New York, where he just takes people around for tours for no money, because he just loves to do it and talk about architecture, etc. And these people never know
who he is.
who he is. And there's lots of stories like that where you think, well, they're both about the human spirit, but also the idea that our lives can lengthen in everything we are and do, that we can keep reinventing ourselves, that we don't have to have anything diminished in any way. In fact, maybe more creative and inventive, because we've proved a lot to ourselves, you know. And then they look at all levels of the income structure, and I just think what they do is they're a good guide for mature life, and that's what they should be.
No, I agree. I think it's time I get my card.
Well, I think what I was saying to Rochelle about this earlier, and when we agreed to wanted to have you come on the air and talk about it, it was because I think that AARP currently does need to sort of have a facelift. And you're perfect for that, because what happens now is I go, well, if Pepper is going to get involved, then I want to look at it, because before it did say to me, if I'm going to join, I'm old. And I don't want to say I'm old. I don't get the discount at the theater. I mean, I can, obviously, but it makes you feel old. And I want to belong to an organization that says I am not old. And that's what I hear you're saying that AARP is doing.
It's changing.
Right. It was really cute. The column I write, aarp.org/nakedtruth.
Oh,
Isn't that cute?
Great.
And I was really surprised. I thought they would put, sex and love, or just something that wasn't too shocking. Naked Truth, I thought, well, okay, that's a good omen. And I'm just finishing doing 10 videos for them, which will be on the website. And some of them are, kind of sexual health, like, helping keeping your pelvic floor healthy for women, or things like 5 things you can do to make your marriage better. But there also is going to be a whole video on sex toys. Now, that's not your old AARP.
No, it's
No,
not.
that's not.
But we believe in sex toys. At our Sex in the City event, we gave out toys, so we believe in them.
Oh, I think they're essential. I mean, it's really interesting, the fact that we have to sit here and sort of go against, certain kind of squeamishness about them, because they're very important for women's sexuality, both in teaching women how to have orgasms, but also showing them what a really intense orgasm is for single women, for people who husbands are not as interested as they are, for augmenting a sex life. I mean, all these things are really important. They're not minimal. They're we can joke about them. I mean, God help me if I don't continue to be funny, but or at least trying, right? But
No, you're funny.
But bottom line is they're really good and important, and they're literally, I think we've probably changed most of the laws, but there's still about 4 or 5 states that outlaw them, if you can believe that.
Come on, still?
Yeah, we are. Well, I think they're now legal in Texas. They didn't used to be. I'm not sure about Alabama and Georgia. It's the kind of thing where they've been identified with pornography. Now, Viagra hasn't been identified with pornography.
Of course, because that's for men.
Yes,
they get away with everything.
And that's not outlawed in
no,
those
in any
five.
and in most states is even supported by, medical plans. Let me even try to get a vibrator on my medical plan. I think they would. There's an article, but in any case, I want my. But in any case, I think that there is a kind of prejudice still about pleasure, about something that is not reproductive, not necessarily interactional, just makes you feel great. And we have a very odd inheritance in this country
Well, let's go
about
back,
that.
though.
We really do.
Well, it's
Pepper.
Victorian.
Yeah, but Pepper, let's go back. When I was growing up, and you and I are really virtually the same age.
Oh, God, I wish it were true.
No, we are. So when I was growing up, I was told that anything to do with masturbation was bad and evil, and if you did that, you were going to go to HELL. And so it's hard when you're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, in those ages, being told that, and then, oh, okay, well, it's really okay. So I think you have a generation of women who are struggling with that being okay or not okay, because, at your childhood, those things last. They stay with you.
They do. And I think they really undermine a lot of the joy we can have in life. So it is my mission.
Well, you do a great job.
That's why she's on air with us.
That's right.
Is that she's her mission today, and we're going to talk to her about AARP's actual. They did a survey about sex, so we're going to talk about that. But we do need to take a quick break, and when we come back, we want to get into this and really explore it. And I'm excited that this is a subject we can easily discuss. So joining us, of course, this morning is Dr. Pepper Schwartz, and when we come back, we'll talk more about sex. This is Chat with Women. We'll be right back.